That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, man? It's your boy Type R87, aka Carlos Fernandez. Gamer by choice, not by trend. Yeah, I know it's Sunday. It's a little bit early with the stream, but I had to make something real quick. Just to point out on yesterday's podcast with your boy Ryan Zaire and the rest of the other panel members that were on there. Big old shout out to Craig Harris, once again Zaire, Ryan, for making it a fun and interesting podcast per se. But let's get to this, man. Uh, as you know, yesterday I had to miss out on the podcast due to a party that I had to go to for one of my family members. So my presence was not there, and sorry about that, people. But I will be at some point. Will be joining the next Broadband Bullies podcast in the near future. But let's get to this. Yesterday was a very hilarious moment, especially for the Broadband Bullies, especially for that dude that was just talking reckless out his mouth about I'm gonna lay this Sony pony to the pasture. First of all, we're not ponies. We're gamers. That's where the whole thing like blew my mind. Where does a person who plays games on a preferred platform is called a pony for? Like I don't get that. I've known Ryan to be a multi-console owner. He owns PC, he owns the PS4, he has had the 360. So pretty much that qualifies him as a multi-console owner. He's not a Sony pony. He just points out the facts that most of these Xbox fanboys don't like. And it was very well proven yesterday with how the redundancy of this individual right on live stream just calling people names because they play on PlayStation. Like, my dude, you need to reevaluate your mental health because you are way beyond anything else. Your delusional mindset makes you even that much worse of a Xbot simply because you're calling people that play God of War schizophrenics. Like, who in their right mind goes out calling people schizophrenics for playing a certain game? If anything else, then you guys that be playing them first person shooters on Xbox should be reevaluated for using guns. Oh, I forgot. That's called aggression. Aggression towards the public and using a weapon to bring out a message. But then again, I'm wrong, right? And people that play God of War, schizophrenics. Oof. Wow, bro, you really dug yourself a grave by saying that specific term in a podcast. Let me just point this out, and I'm gonna make it as simple as possible. And this is where common sense really hits the keynote for everything that's going on within this whole fanboy wars over these consoles. It is a known fact that Microsoft itself has made itself into a game as paid service through download. That is a known fact, and it's been known since 2013. Yes, that was a good thing that he pointed out. But at the same time, it is a known fact that the most toxic community in gaming is none other than Xbox. And it is very, very hilarious how they like to tout and point that we, the Nintendo, the PlayStation, and the PC community are more toxic than them, when in reality, you guys use name calling as a point to make it seem that you're right. I mean, if you're gonna have an intelligent debate, at least use some logic, bruh. At least use some words that are constructive, and instead of just name calling people on a live stream. to make your point across. Just going off by the dome and making these statements to seem like if you know anything about gaming, that just validly just puts you in the red because you're doing the most wrong thing in gaming, and that's being a liar. Flat out lying does not condone you to be knowledgeable. Flat out knowledge and research makes you valuable to your point. But then again, you have a lot of people that just are there in their own ego and use that as a term to feel better that they're saying something correct or that they're feeling that they're saying something right. But that's not the point. The point is just to point out the facts and point out information that is helpful for the YouTubers and the YouTube cast in general. That's all it is. It's not about my Xbox is better than your PS4 because it isn't that, or my Nintendo is better than this because of your console. No, it is a simple fact that we as gamers we enjoy gaming, and we have certain point of views, and we like to point out those point of views and get our points across. It's not about which brand is better. It's who's enjoying and what they can compare to when it comes to terms of gaming. And it's pretty sad that these guys go out on a limb to just name call people on a live stream and name call a variety or even a mass of people that are supporting a platform. When you call somebody a schizo, you should check yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself and think about it. Because when you say things like that, it really makes it seem like you're in a closed ecosystem where you have no interaction with people at all. That just proves the point of why we call out these X bots on every single thread on Twitter, on YouTube, and in gaming in general. And it's very sad that you have a lot of people that follow them and think that they're actually stating true facts when in reality they're just using self-based opinions, self-based logic. They're not using nothing else than just that. And it's very sad. Oh man, if I would have been in that podcast yesterday, man, I would have had a field day with that dude. Like, let's be serious. It would have been that easy to just destroy you in just one word. One word only. What has Xbox given to you as a consumer? Because I'm gonna really flip that around just like Hebot did with that little 30-minute skit downplaying the PlayStation fan base and downplaying gaming in general. What has Xbox done these past couple of years that has given the consumer a chance to say it's a valuable purchase? For the most part, with the comments that I read in certain threads, all I see is people are just fed up. They're fed up with the false, pre-stated announcements. They're pretty fed up that they've made a purchase for a $500 console to play backwards compatible games. And that's where the whole basis of this. You see, this is the thing that gets me really riled up. They always bring out that they have over 1,400 games in their library. Yes, you have all of that. And it's commendable that Microsoft is doing something towards that, but it's not is of what is going on right now. It is not the importance of why the gaming community is asking for new IPs from Microsoft. That doesn't change that fact. But these guys will always try to go and reach around for a penny or a quarter or anything that they can find just to bring that point across and just to make that statement that they have games. Bro, yes, we know that you guys have games. and that you guys think that it's the world to have backwards compatibility. But I'm gonna put this in a simple way. I own a PS3. I own a PS2. I have a PS1. I have an Xbox 360. I have an Xbox One. I have the original Xbox, and I have a Nintendo Wii. Plus, I got PC. Now, at any given time, when I want to play my old games, I simply turn on those old consoles, pop in the disc, and play what I have. That you can emulate games on the PC and on the Xbox. Yay! Who can't do that on a mobile phone? You see, I read the comments. Don't get it twisted. I read comments. I might be missing in action, but I actually read comments and I see there are some couple of people that just like to damage control the crap out of Xbox and not acknowledge the fact that Xbox is failing right now. That Xbox is doing something that's not consumer friendly. Look at Sea of Thieves, man. Look how bad reception the game got. It has mixed reviews. That is not good for a game. And most of the reviewers that have done play the game and you know given their honest and open based opinions about it have been called countless of different slanderous names on every platform and on social media. They have been slandered and talked so negatively about because they simply said what everybody else been saying. The game is beautiful. The game has a good art direction, but it does not have any sustenance to make it a valid purchase for anyone that's looking for a game to play on the Microsoft Xbox system. That has been said plenty of times. And yet these dudes still want to damage control the fact that they have backwards compatibility. It's 2018, people. It's 2018, and Xbox has only launched two Xbox exclusives, which are Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. Let that sink in. So far, Sony has been launching pretty good stellar games for this year. And that's about what? Let's say, I'll say five PlayStation exclusives are going to be launched this year. And then in the next couple of years, a couple of more. And this is what people need to understand. We're not here to bash Xbox. We're here to point out the lack of content that's coming out from the Microsoft gaming community. There's lack of content, and quite frankly, this whole damage control parade for backwards compatibility and calling the PlayStation the remaster station, you dudes need to have a reality check. Because last time I checked, PlayStation has been doing way more better numbers than Microsoft in the past what 20 plus years that PlayStation has been in the market, and Nintendo's not that far from there either. Actually, Nintendo is actually the number one selling console of all consoles in terms of longevity. They have a higher console sellage than both PlayStation and Microsoft. But guess what? PlayStation is actually closer to reaching the lifetime sales of consoles throughout the world next to Nintendo, which is very commendable feat. Microsoft is not even near anywhere near in those terms of lifetime per sales for consoles. And sales do matter because this is what brings more customers and this is what brings more people to play on these consoles. But some people cannot acknowledge that. They think that just by saying that the Xbox is better than the next console, they already have won the discussion. And pretty much that's a smoking gun, but with no bullets in it. And I'm gonna say this again: the warranted purchase of a game, the warranted purchase of a console, is solely based on the amount of people who buy it, and solely because they actually like what the system is giving to them. So yes, in correlation, sales and numbers do correlate to the liking of a system. They correlate to everything about the content within that system. And it actually makes it easier to understand why people are buying the system for that purpose. But you have these Xbox dudes that just think that by saying that is not consumer friendly, they're making a point across. Uh, Reality check, people. Microsoft is not consumer friendly as well. It is not consumer friendly as well. It has its negative points as well, as it does for its positives. But the negatives are outweighing the positives as of right now in 2018. Since the initial release of the Xbox One X, it has been a testosterone who can swing the biggest bat kind of mentality and atmosphere. And quite frankly, it is getting tiring. It is getting tiring of listening to these dudes use non-based logic to point out something that is a lost cause. Microsoft has officially begun to downsize itself, and it's going to keep on going until eventually, I'm not saying it's now, I'm not saying it's this year, I'm not saying it, but sometime in the near future, Microsoft will back out from the gaming industry and somebody else will take over and bring something new to the table. And that's just the sad reality of why we are making these statements towards Microsoft, because we want them to succeed. See, constructive criticism helps a company develop a need to bring more content, a need to bring more innovative ideas, a need to just make gaming funny. But these dudes are so toxic, it's not even funny. It is very saddening to say at least that these guys are still damage controlling the crap out of the purchase of their console for just to get recognition by their viewers and by the gaming community. It is pretty sad and so benign. It really is. And I just hope that things do get better as we go along in 2018. And I hope that, excuse me, for this year's E3, that Microsoft does redeem itself and shows something other than just game based service, game based service, because that's practically what I'm seeing from Microsoft. And I hope that they try to keep it a little bit longer and just give the gamers what they want. They want content, man. They want to say, yo, Microsoft has the one of the best games out there, and not this whole Sea of Thieves foolery that people just are going at each other at their throats and name calling and all this other crap. I happen to play Sea of Thieves. I find it to be a good concept of a game. I just don't like the content. That's all. That's my honest opinion. And if nobody likes it, hey, it is what it is. That is just an opinion. The fact that the game is a sociable game that is bringing millions and millions of people across the world to play it, that's a positive thing. But you cannot have a positive without the negative. And that's always going to be the whole thing with gaming. In order for something positive to flourish, there has to be a negative input to give it more of an uplift, if you get what I'm saying, an uplift to make these developers actually do their job and bring you better content. That's where it's at. Bringing better content and showing something more differently than just playing in a sandbox. Because quite honestly, sandbox games, they're fun, but they get repetitive and boring after a while. And that's exactly what Sea of Thieves is a repetitive sandbox game. Take it as you make it, do whatever you want, create your own fun, but then after that it just becomes a bore. And I'm gonna stop talking about Sea of Thieves because I'm done with that game. Now, on another side note, Far Cry 5, ladies and gentlemen, Far Cry 5. What can I say, man? That game is beyond my expectations from the last one. It has surpassed Far Cry 4 in so many ways that I'm just enjoying it. I like the story. I like the mechanics of the game. I like the fact that that actually you have the characters follow you and execute the missions with you, which is a freaking plus. That is that's commendable to Ubisoft, man. Shout out to Ubisoft for actually making a great Far Cry game, man. It has actually become the talk of the town in these gaming streets, and it's very beautiful. As you can see in my channel, I had posted up a benchmark for the Far Cry 5, and I was playing it at 1440p, 30 frames per second because I had on VSync. And for those who know, VSync can actually debilitate your frame rates. But I actually gonna try to upload a new benchmark with higher settings and a more stable frame rate. But Far Cry 5, man, I like the story. I just like the way the game is, and hey, if you haven't played it, play it, enjoy it, and give your honest opinions about the game. At the end of the day, that's what boiled down to. Just you showing your appreciation for the game and pointing out the negatives and positives, because there's a couple of negatives and positives in Far Cry 5 that a lot of people have pointed out. But for the most part, it's been an enjoyable experience. People have been giving it good reviews and they're actually liking the game. Um, but I'm just gonna cut this short. Just wanted to make something real quick. And hey, Zaire, whenever you're ready to put me on the Rock Band Bullies, just let me know, my brother. I am down to lay down facts just for gaming. I'm not a name caller. I'm not a Xbot, not a pony. I'm just a gamer. As I always say it, gamer by choice, not by trend. And check me out on my YouTube content, people. Show a little bit of support. It's very much appreciated. And check me out on the RGT podcast with your boy Ryan the Professional, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, whenever possible. Hey, as always, it's your boy Type R87, aka Carlos Fernandez, gamer by choice, not by trend. And hey, let's keep it gaming and stop the bullying, man. Stop the bullying. It's not cool when you guys are over 30, 40, 50, trying to bully your way into making your statements and your facts resonate with these people. Be truthful and honest and just state the facts, man. That'll help you a whole lot more. But anyways, people, have a good one, and I'll check y'all later. Peace.